So we're looking at expanding brackets here. Now with expanding brackets, it's important to know what this means here. So we've got 8 brackets x plus 2. So what the important part is we need to know, well, what is this 8 doing to the bracket? Well, whenever you've got a number straight next to a bracket, it means times. So it will look like this, 8 times, then you got the brackets x plus 2. The important thing is that, well, you got to follow the BEDMAS rules. So normally what you would do would be solve inside of the brackets first, and then you would do the multiplication. However, with this, we don't know what the x is. The x stays as a variable, so we can't actually give it a value yet. So we can't actually simplify this any further because x plus 2, we don't know what x is. So what we need to do with this one is expand it. And the way we expand it is that we use a rule called, well, I like to call the bridging rule. What you need to do is you times your first number, well, you times the number outside of the brackets by the first number inside of the brackets. So what it's going to look like will be like this. So it'll be 8 times x. So 8 times x will, so this will equal 8 times x will be 8x. Now you can put that in there, 8 times x across there, but we just know when you're timesing a letter by a numerical value, it will just be combine them together to be 8x. And then what we got to do is you got to do the times the next number. So we've times the first one by 8 times x. So let's times the second one now. So 8 times 2. Now 8 times 2 is basically 16. So 16 is a positive number, so it will just be plus 16. And that's it. That's all we need to do with our expanding. So it's 8 times x, which will be 8x. And then we've got 8 times 2, which will be 16. So 8x plus 16. That's how you expand brackets. The important part is that you have to know how to expand them properly. So look at this next one. We've got x brackets, negative x brackets, x takes 7. The important part is that you know that this is a negative x. Okay, so whenever you do any of the multiplications, you have to multiply with the negative x in there as well. So the way that this one will look will be negative x times x will be the first part of this question. So negative x times x will be negative, so it's negative times a positive will be a negative. And then we've got x and x, so we have to avoid the temptation of adding those together to be 2x. When you've got an x times an x, it equals x squared. Also, so then moving on to our next one, we've got negative x times, now we have to grab the sign out in front as well, which is a negative 7. So it's a negative x times a negative 7. So the answer to that is, well, a negative and a negative equals a positive. So it's a positive. And then we've got an x times 7, which is just 7x. And that's basically it. That's just the rules we have to do expanding brackets.